Chapter 231. In less than 15 seconds, 5 Rhyhorn and 4 Raiden appeared at the entrance of the cave. Alex quickly looked at the information of these Pokémon. 4 Rhyhorn were either bronze or silver, all below the elite level. They were between LV-15 and LV-33. 2 Raiden were silver and deep silver and were at LV-42 and LV-43, respectively. But Alex's attention was drawn to 3 particular Pokémon. Pokémon. Rhyhorn. LV-40. Type. Ground Rock. Ability. Reckless Hidden Ability. Gender. Male. Potential. Shallow Gold. Moves. Horn Attack. Tail Whip. Fury Attack. Scary Face. Smack Down. Stomp. Bulldoze. Chip Away. Rock Blast. Drill Run. Stone Edge. Innate Talent Ice Beam E. Innate Talent Sunny Day. Innate Talent Takedown E. LV-49. Type. Ground Rock. Ability. Rock Head. Gender. Male. Potential. Gold. Moves. Horn Attack. Tail Whip. Fury Attack. Scary Face. Smack Down. Stomp. Bulldoze. Chip Away. Rock Blast. Drill Run. Stone Edge. Earthquake E. Innate Talent Ice Beam E. Innate Talent Sandstorm E. Innate Talent Takedown M. LV-50. Type. Ground Rock. Ability. Reckless Hidden Ability. Gender. Female. Potential. Gold. Moves. Horn Attack. Tail Whip. Fury Attack. Scary Face. Smack Down. Stomp. Bulldoze. Chip Away. Rock Blast. Drill Run. Stone Edge E. Earthquake. Innate Talent Attract E. Innate Talent Sunny Day E. Innate Talent Takedown M. Although Alex was being watched by several elite-level Pokémon, a smile couldn't help but emerge on his face. After seeing the information about these 3 Pokémon, the possibility of there being no diamonds was almost nil. Gold Pokémon are truly rare, and it is unlikely that so many gold Pokémon will gather here. This may be normal for Royal or Dragon-type Pokémon but not for a species like Raiden. Especially the fact that the child of 2 Raiden also has a gold potential reinforced Alex's belief. As a rule, Pokémon can only give birth to a Pokémon with the same or inferior potential that they were born with. Of course, there are cases where this is not the case, but something like that is extremely rare. More often than not, the potential of the children almost always have a worse potential than the average born potential of the parents. For example, one parent was born with a shallow gold potential and is now a shallow diamond Pokémon. And the other parent was born with a gold potential, and currently, its talent has progressed to diamond. If these Pokémon would have 10 children, it is very likely that 9 of the 10 children would be born with silver or deep silver potential, and only 1 would have a shallow gold potential. This is the primary reason why young S-rank Pokémon are extremely rare and are bought for such a high price. Alex doesn't believe that he suddenly met such a talented family who has developed so far with no help from natural resources found from this cave. The Raiden leader looked around and saw Alex's group and members of his group unconscious on the ground. "You will regret this, human," he said with a loud scream. After that, without delay, the Raiden leader gave all the elite-level Pokémon in his group a signal to attack. Alex didn't even try to speak to the leader and immediately gave telepathic commands to each of his Pokémon. Fortunately, his group was now many times stronger thanks to all the buffs, or this fight could end badly for Alex. Fighting a LV-49 and a LV-50 Pokémon, both of them having master rank moves, is no joke. Without the reinforcement, Alex was not sure that he would have been able to defeat these Pokémon, even with his entire team. Alex looked at the 5 Pokémon that were getting ready for battle and immediately decided on a plan. 4 Raiden LV-42, 43, 49 and 50 and a Kid Rhyhorn LV-40. Crobat and Blaziken, go to the 2 weak Raiden. Gardevoir, you quickly defeat that Kid Rhyhorn and then help defeat the 2 weak Raiden. Scizor, Ditto, Umbreon, try to hold back these 2 monsters for a while. Rest will finish their fight as soon as possible and go to their aid. Alex used the safest and, in his opinion, the best plan that he could come up with within 1 second. Defeat the weak first without the 2 strong Raiden being a danger to the lives of his Pokémon. Scizor, Ditto, Scizor, and Umbreon should, in Alex's opinion, keep these two monsters busy for a bit, even if they can't defeat them. Fortunately, the master rank move of these two Pokemon was not an area of effect AoE move. So, he did not have to worry that one attack will defeat his entire team. Although both monsters can use Earthquake, this move is a double-edged sword. Earthquake, even on the expert rank, is difficult to control and would damage members of Raiden's group, too. Only on the master rank is it possible to manipulate the move in such a way that it only hits the opponent. Alex's Pokemon immediately started executing his instructions. Alex didn't have enough time to give precise instructions, so his Pokemon had to think themselves which move would be best to use. In moments like this, it shows how important it is that a trainer teaches his Pokemon how to fight without instruction and what to consider while choosing the moves. That was one of the reasons why Alex created the Alex Tournament. Chapter 232. A relatively chaotic fight quickly ensued, and it was a carnival of different moves blasting away. Fortunately, everyone was strengthened by Alex and generally had better bodies than the Pokemon in the wild. Usually, even an identical LV-37 Pokemon can defeat a LV-39 wild Pokemon without any commands from its trainer. That's because they spend more time training their bodies and get more nutritious food. And that's just the comparison of Pokemon from regular trainers and not a crazy trainer like Alex, who pays 1 million for Pokemon food per month. Alex noticed this, especially when he saw how Scizor, Ditto, and Umbreon managed to have an even fight with the two-monster Raiden. That factored to two other reasons. First, the master rank move of the two monsters, Takedown, normal type, was ineffective against Ditto and Scizor. Second, Alex's Pokemon were already reinforced. But it was still surprising for Alex nonetheless. When Alex saw how Gardevoir quickly defeated a LV-40 Rhyhorn with Magical Leaf and immediately went to help Crobat and Blaziken, he felt that he had overestimated these Pokemon. After less than 10 seconds, Gardevoir, Crobat, and Blaziken defeated the two other Raiden. Now only the two monster Raiden were left to fight, and Alex's team was hardly injured. The leader Raiden was agitated when he realized he was surrounded and said in a loud voice filled with deep anger, "Human, you won. Stop it, or I'll start using my life energy along with Earthquake and kill at least a few of your Pokemon." Alex maintained a relaxed demeanor. But inside, he was thinking, is he actually smart, or it's just that experience talking? No wonder that he is the leader even though he is a level weaker than his wife. The two monster Raiden and Alex's Pokemon stopped fighting and just kept a watchful eye on other parties. When Alex heard the words, life energy, he was filled with gray feelings. This crazy Pokemon really was ready to use life energy reinforced Earthquake when his child and group members were unconscious around. He would be directly killing them with it. If leader Raiden actually went ahead and did it, this might lead to the death of some of Alex's family members. Especially, Blaziken and Umbreon would hardly have a chance to save their lives. Alex showed a stern face and said, "Okay, but you and your group have to leave this cave, or else the fight won't be ending here." He wasn't really going to fight in this instance. This was a complete bluff from his side, and he would teleport away with the help of Gardevoir as soon as this leader Raiden started preparing Earthquake. Alex also told Gardevoir via telepathy, "Teleport everyone away as soon as you see that he is preparing a move." Gardevoir said with a concerned voice, "Father, what about you and Bastiodon?" Bastiodon and Alex were 40 meters away from the two monsters and not close enough for the Gardevoir to teleport them. Alex chuckled inwardly and said, "By teleporting away, I meant at a distance such that you are no longer within range of Earthquake. Probably 50 meters. After that, Bastiodon and I will run to you, and you will prepare teleportation that will take us away from here, or we fight more afterward." Raiden was unfortunately very fast with a level of 49 and had several moves on the expert rank. So he didn't even want to try to use a hit-and-run tactic. Especially when this couple starts to use their life energy. A mistake can quickly happen in such a situation, and the life of him and his Pokemon can easily be put in danger. So he was not willing to continue fighting. Apart from that, the gold Pokemon in the elite level are worth much less than the ones under the elite level. These Pokemon are not worth fighting such a high-risk battle. Alex patiently waited for Raiden's answer. The Raiden leader briefly showed hesitation. But after contemplating for a few seconds, he said with a harumph, "You disgusting human." He gritted his teeth and continued, "I agree, but if you attack even one of us, I'll fight you to the death. While this cave was very helpful to his group, it was not worth more than their survival. He could only blame his weakness for losing this territory. Alex, who heard Raiden's answer, smiled and signaled his Pokémon to come to him and waited for the unconscious Pokémon to wake up. Even though he had enough potions to heal these Pokémon, speeding up this process, he didn't do that. Because it is dangerous and stupid to heal an enemy group to its peak strength. Alex did not want to take a risk that the leader Raiden would not keep his word. Although Pokémon almost never lie, it's not impossible for the leader to change his mind when his whole group is completely healed. After 15 minutes, all the Pokémon from the group of Raiden woke up and began to leave the area with a sad posture. Alex showed an indifferent expression when he observed the sadness of the Raiden's group. After the group left the place and Crobat made sure that they were no longer nearby, Alex walked inside the cave. This cave was relatively small and only several hundred meters deep. In addition, there were no other Pokémon in this cave. But when Alex's group was walking through this cave, Bastiodon told him that he could perceive lots of diamonds in the earth. How many? Alex asked. Bastiodon showed a thoughtful expression and said, many, really many. At least several hundred, but some are really deeply hidden and not easy to dig out. How long do you think it will take you to dig up all the diamonds and separate them from the earth and rocks? Bastiodon tried hard to do the calculation with his mind and said, this is really difficult. Even if they are not that deep, I will probably need at least 3 days. Alex looked at Ditto and asked, with Ditto transformed into you, it should be quicker, right? Bastiodon nodded and said, with Ditto, it should be a lot quicker. And if the rest helps with other tasks, it shouldn't be impossible in a little more than a day to have almost all diamonds. Okay, everyone, let's get started. Chapter 233. 10 days later, Alex and his Pokémon were treading through the mountain terrain with watchful eyes, just as they had been doing it for the last few days. After they dug up all the diamonds, Alex and his Pokémon stayed in that area for a while to train against powerful Pokémon and possibly find valuable items. His Pokémon met many elite-level Pokémon, and fighting was a very regular thing. Although elite-level Pokémon are supposed to be smarter, it was not uncommon for them to attack Alex and his Pokémon despite their weaker strength. Alex didn't understand their train of thought, but he welcomed this prophet, coming to him without even asking, with open hands. His Pokémon not only gained a lot of experience, but he collected a few Pokémon corpses too. Because the price for elite-level Pokémon is relatively bad, it is better to sell them as corpses. So Alex did not capture the attacking Pokémon and just straight up killed them. Although gold Pokémon were sometimes included in elite Pokémon, they are unfortunately not particularly valuable too. So, even if they are gold Pokémon, it is better to sell them as corpses. This time he also showed the 2 young Pokémon, Shuppet and Vulpix, this scene. This time, the killing can be considered an act of self-defense, and it should be easier to accept for the first time. But when he saw the curious expressions of Shuppet and Vulpix, he couldn't help but feel stupid. It seems that Vulpix and Shuppet were intrigued instead of afraid or feeling repugnance. Alex thought for a moment and understood where he made a mistake. Unlike Gardevoir, whose species is a very peaceful one, Shuppet and Vulpix are from neutral species. It is not surprising that Shuppet or Vulpix showed no specific emotions towards killing Pokémon who had attacked them. Especially because they are in no real danger of being injured or killed. Although this place is supposed to be very dangerous, it wasn't that dangerous for Alex. He only came across one Pokémon that could really be a real threat to him and his Pokémon. ALV-57 Golem. But Alex immediately teleported away so that this encounter was never a danger to him or his Pokémon. After that 10 days, he really made a good gain. 241 diamonds. Corpse of a low elite shallow silver Graveler. Corpse of a low elite shallow silver Onyx. Corpse of a low elite silver Raiden. Corpse of a low elite silver Golem. Corpse of a mid elite deep silver Onyx. Corpse of a mid elite shallow gold Golem. Corpse of a low elite shallow gold Fearow. Corpse of a mid elite shallow gold Aggron. Corpse of a low elite gold Kabutops. Even though Alex fought 3 mid-elite Pokémon, it wasn't really life-threatening. In addition, he would not let Gardevoir be in the fight but keep teleport ready. So that, if a Pokemon were to try to use its life energy, Alex's Pokemon, fighting the battle, would not be exposed to very life-threatening dangers. It wasn't really safe, but the danger was very controlled. Despite not being 100% secure, Alex's Pokemon could fight without worry and gain valuable experience from it. Alex's preparation was also shown to be necessary when a mid-elite Pokemon tried to use a move filled with its life energy. Because Gardevoir was prepared for such a situation, she quickly teleported away Alex's fighting Pokemon, which had gathered to her side right away. This required full attention from Gardevoir and all the fighting Pokemon. But since they were always cautious, the plan was very effective. The effectiveness of this plan also made Alex worry a little less about the strong Pokemon who could use life energy filled moves. Even though he had found a plan to defend against life energy moves, he still felt perturbation from life energy moves from powerful Pokemon. Alex thought that he would be stupid if he underestimated the danger of life energy from Pokemon with higher levels than his Pokemon. Only one mistake, and his Pokemon may lose their life forever. It has to prepare at least one new move which gives Alex's other Pokemon enough time to put the unconscious Pokemon out of danger. A potential danger is still a danger, and such a danger should never be underestimated. But thanks to all this dangerous fighting, the leveling of his Pokemon seems to have become really fast. Pokemon. Crobat. LV. 46. Type. Poison Flying. Ability. Inner Focus. Gender. Male. Moves. Absorb, Supersonic, Astonish, Bite, Wing Attack, Confuse Ray, Swift, Haze, Leech Life, Mean Look, Venoshock. Innate Talent Shadow Ball E. Innate Talent Fly E. Innate Talent Cross Poison E. TM Protect, TM Toxic E. TM Sludge Bomb, TM Facade, TM Taunt E. TM Roost, TM Substitute. Pokemon. Scizor. LV. 46. Type. Bug Steel. Ability. Technician. Potential. Deep Gold. Moves. Leer. Quick Attack. Focus Energy. Double Team. Feint. Fury Cutter. Wing Attack. Agility E. Slash. Razor Wind. Iron Defense. X Scissor. Night Slash. Innate Talent Roost E. Innate Talent Metal Claw E. Innate Talent Brick Break E. TM Protect. TM Toxic. TM Thief. TM Facade. TM Giga Impact, TM U-Turn, TM Sandstorm, TM Substitute, TM Swords Dance E. Pokemon. Gardevoir. LV. 46. Type. Psychic Fairy. Ability. Telepathy Hidden Ability. Gender. Female. Potential. Deep Gold. Moves. Growl, Confusion, Double Team, Teleport E. Disarming Voice, Lucky Chant, Magical Leaf, Heal Pulse, Draining Kiss, Psychic E. Imprison, Future Sight, Captivate. Innate Talent Disable E. Innate Talent Calm Mind E. Innate Talent Dazzling Gleam E. TM Protect, TM Shadow Ball, TM Will-O-Wisp, TM Thunderbolt, TM Thunder Wave, TM Helping Hand, TM Focus Blast. Pokemon. Ditto. LV. 43. Type. Normal. Ability. Imposter Hidden Ability. Gender. Genderless. Potential. Shallow Gold. Move. Innate Talent Transform E. Pokemon. Bastiodon. LV. 44. Type. Rock Steel. Ability. Sturdy. Gender. Male. Potential. Deep Gold. Moves. Protect. Tackle. Metal Sound. Take Down. Iron Defense. Swagger. Ancient Power. Block. Endure. Innate Talent Rock Polish E. Innate Talent Sleep Talk E. Innate Talent Flamethrower E. TM Taunt E. TM Rock Slide, TM Rest E. TM Earthquake, TM Flash Cannon. Pokemon. Blaziken. LV. 43. Type. Fire Fighting. Ability. Speed Boost Hidden Ability. Gender. Female. Potential. Shallow Diamond. Moves. Growl, Scratch, Ember, Sand Attack, Peck, Double Kick, Flame Charge, Quick Attack, Bulk Up, Blaze Kick, Focus Energy, Sunny Day E. Perfect Talent Attract E. Perfect Talent Overheat E. TM Protect, TM Flamethrower E. TM Rock Slide, TM Will-O-Wisp E. TM Poison Jab. Dash. Pokemon. Umbreon. LV. 45. Type. Dark. Ability. Synchronize. Gender. Female. Potential. Shallow Diamond. Moves. Growl. Tackle. Tail Whip. Quick Attack. Double Kick. Sand Attack. Bite. Swift. Takedown. Double Edge E. Helping Hand. Charm. Baton Pass. Work Up E. Pursuit. Moonlight. Mean Look. Last Resort. Guard Swap. Perfect Talent. Rest E. Perfect Talent. Sleep Talk E. TM Toxic. TM Shadow Ball. TM Facade. TM Protect. TM Attract. Dash. Pokemon. Alolan Vulpix. LV. 29. Type. Ice. Ability. Snow Cloak. Gender. Female. Potential. Deep Gold. Moves. Powder Snow. Tail Whip. Roar. Baby Doll Eyes. Ice Shard. Confuse Ray. Icy Wind. Payback. Mist. Faint Attack. Aurora Beam. Innate Talent. Hex. Innate Talent. Howl E. Innate Talent. Blizzard E. TM Protect. Dash. Pokemon. Shuppet. LV. 29. Type. Ghost. Ability. Cursed Body. Hidden Ability. Gender. Male. Potential. Gold. Moves. Knock Off. Screech. Nightshade. Spite. Shadow Sneak. Will-O-Wisp. Faint Attack. Hex. Innate Talent. Curse. Innate Talent. Phantom Force E. Innate Talent. Destiny Bond E. TM Protect. Dash. Currently practicing. Crobat. Venoshock. Scizor. Focus Energy. Gardevoir. Focus Blast. Ditto. Transform. Bastiodon. Rock Slide. Blaziken. Overheat. Umbreon. Facade. Vulpix. Hex. Shuppet. Curse. Dash. New moves learned. Bastiodon. Rest. Blaziken. Flamethrower. Vulpix. Blizzard. Shuppet. Destiny Bond. Difficult to train. Asterisk. Author thought. For people who don't quite understand why some Pokemon's moves got on the expert rank, and some don't, I'll explain it a bit more precisely. Simply put, each of Alex's Pokemon only trains one move. That means that you use this move more than 200 times a day to train it. Some wonder why some moves that are often used by Pokemon in battles are not on the expert rank. Because using it a few times in combat is not enough to get this move on the expert rank. Gold Pokemon typically take a little less than 30 days of intense training from a move to get a non-innate talent move on the expert rank. I had to make an extra list so that I don't have to guess which Pokemon brings its move to expert rank and when. Other factors are talent, difficulty in training this move, and whether it is a normal, innate talent, or a perfect talent move. I hope this explanation will help a few people understand it better. Chapter 234. These 10 days were incredibly fruitful for Alex and his Pokemon. Not only has he unearthed several valuable diamonds, but his Pokemon had gained a big boost in their leveling. Especially his elite level Pokemon had gained lots of experience in this area as they fought against many elite level Pokemon every day. Gardevoir, Crobat, and Scizor managed to increase their level to 46. Though, Crobat, Gardevoir and Scizor did it on the last day. Umbreon and Blaziken were the Pokemon that benefited most from this extensive. Not only did Umbreon increase her level by 3, but she also became a shallow diamond Pokemon. Now with perfect talent, the training of master rank move would be greatly accelerated. Thus, training Rest and Sleep Talk to the master rank should only take 2 months. If Umbreon really has these 2 moves on the master rank, she really would become almost invincible against Pokemon on the same level. Though it's not like there would be no way she can be defeated, it's ridiculous enough, in Alex's opinion. Blaziken is almost the exact opposite of Umbreon, with a fighting style focused on defeating her opponent in the shortest time possible. Alex can already imagine what happens when she uses the Attract Master Rank plus Sunny Day Expert Rank combo and finishing it off with Overheat Master Rank. As long as the opponent has not overbearingly good SP, Def or a Fire-type resistance, Alex doesn't believe that a Pokemon on the same level can take such a hit easily. After this trip, Alex, very happy with the level of his team, started thinking about various ways that can increase the potential of his Pokemon. Vulpix was already a deep gold Pokemon, and Alex has a top ice stone. So reaching the shallow diamond potential shouldn't be a problem for her. especially since Vulpix was born with exceptional talent. Shuppet only needed a good quality item to reach the deep gold talent. And then, he can use the remains ashes of a champion-level Gengar of SS rank talent during his evolution to get him on the shallow diamond. Bringing Crobat, Scizor, and Gardevoir to the shallow diamond with items should not be easy or cheap. So he will continue to buy good quality items for these Pokémon, but he doesn't think that a few items would be enough for them. Alex has little hope for Ditto. Unless he can find a perfect full-blood legendary item, it should be impossible for Ditto to reach the shallow diamond rank. Bastiodon is the Pokémon that Alex thinks, except for Shuppet and Vulpix, can reach the shallow diamond potential very quickly. Not only has he used very few items so far, but he was also born with a shallow gold potential. If Alex can buy several very good quality items for Bastiodon, it shouldn't be impossible to improve his potential. Unfortunately, such good items are not only expensive but also rare to appear in the market. Gardevoir, teleport us to Celadon City, Alex said. Alex first planned to sell the items he had won from his trip to the shopping center of Celadon City. He has great hopes for the diamonds in particular. He had his diamonds examined by stores including Team Rocket, and Jack was the person who gave Alex the best deal, again, due to Alex's membership card. Most of the diamonds that Alex unearthed were very small and could not be sold for a very high price. But there were some with a good crystalline structure and high carat. So those were sold for a ridiculous price. This small number of high-quality diamonds was responsible for getting most of Alex's money. After selling the corpses of elite-level Pokémon and the diamonds, he was able to get 120,323,789 Pokédollar from Jack. Only a few million were from the elite-level Pokémon corpses, and most of the money was from the diamonds. Alex now has more than 140 million Pokédollars to his name and was an actual very wealthy person now. He had the whole money paid out in cash, which took a long time. He also tried looking for good quality items for Bastiodon. But to his surprise, Jack had nothing on stock for Steel and Rock-type Pokémon because yesterday, a very rich customer bought all of these items. Alex suddenly felt that he knew who this very rich customer was. There was only one guy who would buy so many ridiculously expensive Steel and Rock-type items. "Oh, Alex, what's up?" Alex went straight to the point. "Hey Steven, I need your help." Steven, who heard this blunt statement, showed a smile. He really likes this frank side of Alex. He doesn't waste his time in compliments or sugarcoating it but directly tells that he has called for his help. It feels honest, which is why Steven sees Alex as a genuine friend. Steven said with a heavy tone, "Sigh. So you only call me when you need help, huh?" Alex knew what Steven was up to. "Are you my mother or what? I also called you last 3 days ago. If you want to make fun of me, you should at least not make such stupid mistakes." Steven said with a fake arrogant tone, "Alex, as your only friend, I'll give you a tip. Don't make fun of the person you are asking for help. And let's not even talk about the jokes you make." "What are you saying? My humor is of the highest quality." "Yeah, right," Steven said with sarcasm, "let's keep that aside for now. Tell me, what do you want?" "Yesterday, a certain stupid person bought all the rock and steel type items in the Celadon City shopping center. Now, I can't find any good item for my Bastiodon even though I have lots of money in my pocket," replied Alex with a sarcastic tone. The way you speak is making it really difficult for me to agree to help you." "Haha, I knew it was you. Are you a child? Stop laughing and tell me how much money you have for good items for Bastiodon, and I will send you items of the same value." Alex, he heard Steven helping him, stopped laughing and said sincerely, "Thank you." Steven, yes, whatever. Tell me, now, how little money you have with you." "Little money? Ha, joke's on you. I have more than 50 million ready for you." 50 million, not bad. Where did you get that much money from?" "I was really fortunate and found this cave with some diamonds in it." Alex and Steven talked for a few minutes before they both hung up. Steven told Alex that he would send the items to Alex in a few hours. Chapter 235. Alex trusted Steven, so he didn't wait for items and sent him the money through his TRH device. TRH device is just like Pokédex, so it wasn't a problem. He didn't think that Steven would cheat on him. And paying money in advance also shows his trust in Steven. This kind of trust helps in making a relationship, such as this, even more solid. Alex believed that Steven had enough experience and would know which items are the best for his Bastiodon. 3 hours later, Alex received the item Steven had sent him. 2x Tooth of an SS rank champion level Bastiodon reinforced with rock and steel type energy. 3x Steel Scale by an SS rank champion level Aggron reinforced with steel type energy. 5x Steel Scale by an S rank champion level Skarmory reinforced with steel type energy. 5x Top Old Amber. 10x Top Rock Gem. 10x Top Steel Gem. Alex knows about Top Rock Gem and Top Steel Gem. These are consumable items that can improve the potential of rock and steel type Pokemon. Steven sent him not only 20 of these gems but also items of an SS rank champion level Bastiodon, filled with both rock and steel type energy. Such an item should be sellable for at least 10 million and was the optimal item for Bastiodon, who wanted to achieve the shallow diamond talent. Alex was very satisfied with the items Steven had sent him, though he was not entirely sure about why he sent him Top Old Amber. He knows Old Amber from the games, but in this world, it has no actual use for Pokemon, at least, not the one he knows. Although Alex knew a lot about the items in the world, he doesn't know everything. Alex checked information on the internet but found nothing. That wasn't really surprising, but Alex still wanted to give it a try. In the Pokemon world, knowledge is extremely precious and can almost never be acquired for free. Only general knowledge can be found on the internet. Although a few people on the internet share information from time to time, it is seldom the case that they are correct. If you know a very good training method for a certain Pokemon, or even type, it can ensure that your family produces several generations of strong trainers, with some of them achieving a high post-like gym leader. Alex thinks that this limitation of knowledge for Pokemon trainers from the elites is the reason why there are so many stupid trainers in this world. Maybe it would be more appropriate to call them ignorant or brainwashed. Due to the propaganda that does not let them know of the brutal and dangerous side of the world, trainers do not understand the danger they are in. The Alliance promotes being a trainer, which leads to many young trainers on the route of adventure. But once again, due to the lack of knowledge, they are not strong enough yet. This causes them to encounter a situation for which they are not prepared, leading to their death. Not to mention, despite there being enough basic knowledge accessible for free, very few Pokemon trainers use it because of the propaganda. Alex is sure that if the Alliance were to stop the whole shit with Pokemon are friends propaganda and show the raw and real side of the world to the community, the death rate would undergo a razor-sharp drop. But Alex believed that there was no way that Alliance would do it even though numerous young trainers die every year, since they gain a huge net amount of trainers. If they were to stop the propaganda, sure, the dying trainers will decrease. But Pokemon trainer won't be such a coveted job anymore. Bastiodon, who had seen the items, was waiting eagerly for Alex. But he started losing his patience a bit when he noticed that Alex was deep in thought again. Scizor watched Bastiodon getting restless and said, "Kid, if you don't wake that dreaming fool, he'll be thinking about things all day." Bastiodon heard the words and said with hesitation, "But wouldn't it be really rude if I disturb father when he is like that? What if he is thinking about something important?" Crobat, who was also listening, started laughing. "Haha, good joke." Alex, who heard Crobat laughing loudly, stopped thinking and saw all the Pokemon looking at him. *Oak. Why are you looking at me like that? Crobat started laughing out loud again. He said as he tried to control his laughter, "Oh, don't worry. We're laughing with you, not at you. Haha." In the end, he couldn't control himself and started laughing again. Alex gave a cold stare to Crobat. "I see. Crobat, if you already have so much energy, why don't we increase your training time for today?" Crobat instantly stopped laughing and muttered, "Can't even take a joke." Alex, who didn't quite hear what Crobat said, just looked at Crobat with a deadpan face. He wasn't really mad at Crobat, and he had planned to train Crobat only 10 minutes longer today. Alex just wanted to tease Crobat a little. After annoying Crobat a little, he sent Steven a message. "Yo, Steven, I wanted to ask you something. What is the use of the top old amber you sent me? You don't know. I thought it was an open secret for all elite trainers. Apparently not that open. These top old amber can improve the potential of rock-type Pokemon item if it is consumed by the Pokemon before using the rock-type Pokemon item. It only works for one item, and effectiveness decreases with the repeated use of it. So I would recommend that you use one top old amber per item. It is best to use the Aggron and Bastiodon items together with the top old amber to get the maximum benefit out of it. Alex, who understood how much care Steven had taken in picking out items, felt that he was a friend worth cherishing. Steven, how much is the info for using top old amber? I don't need your money, Alex. What? I didn't mean that. Haha, do you think I don't know what you're trying to do? Don't worry, the information costs less than 100,000 Pokédollar. By the way, Steven, how expensive are these top old amber? Ah, not as expensive as you may think. Alex, I have an appointment. So, I'll be going now, messaged Steven as his status soon turned into offline. Alex realized that Steven had interpreted this intent immediately, and he didn't want to answer that. He had the feeling that these top old amber are not as cheap as Steven told. He checked the internet and found the last top old amber was sold for 2.5 million at one auction. Alex immediately started calculating the prices of his items in his head. 12 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 9 plus 6. When Alex calculated the minimum prices for all items, he came up with a total value of 57 million. It is likely that Steven paid 60 or maybe even 65 million for these items. Alex felt that Steven really was his true friend. He started thinking about how he can make up for this favor in the future for Steven. Chapter 236. Bastiodon was told by Alex about items he would be receiving for the next few days, hopefully reaching the shallow diamond rank. For the first 10 days, he would receive one top rock gem in the morning and one top steel gem in the evening from Alex. After that, he would be absorbing a steel scale reinforced by an S-rank Skarmory on the champion level for the subsequent 5 days. These 15 days are just the preparation period for Bastiodon to safely reach the shallow diamond rank with the following 5 items. Alex would give Bastiodon the combination of the best items in the last 5 days. For the first 3 days, the combo of Steel Scale reinforced with Steel-type energy by an SS rank Aggron on the champion level plus top old amber will be given. And for the last 2 days, Tooth of an SS rank Bastiodon at champion level reinforced with Rock and Steel-type energy plus top old amber will be given. Alex thought that Bastiodon had the best chance to improve his potential in the last 2 days. The combination of these 2 items is the best item Alex has ever had. So he thought these items should be enough to improve potential, even though he could not say that with certainty. Shallow diamond is really not easy to achieve, so you can never proclaim a 100% guarantee. But since Bastiodon was born with a shallow gold potential and has hardly consumed any items so far, Alex believed that Bastiodon would become a shallow diamond Pokemon, for sure, after these 20 days. Alex stopped thinking about it. Then he, like every day, opened the Team Rocket shop page, which is available only for higher members like Team Rocket Captain. Finally, I thought I would never find something for Shuppet. A corpse ashes of an SS rank high elite Dusknoir, 12,500,000 TR points Pokédollars. Although the price of this item was outrageously high, Alex immediately bought it. Ghost-type Pokemon are rare, making the price of their corpses and items related to them outrageously costly. It's almost twice as expensive as the corpses of an S-rank champion-level Pokemon. Though the quality of both items are about the same. Of course, this item is overpriced. And, if Alex was willing to wait a few months, he could certainly get a similar good corpse for 10 million Pokédollars. But Alex didn't have time for it. Shuppet would soon reach the level where he will transform into his final form, and Alex did not want to wait for an item anymore. Alex was going to use Everstone as the last option if he couldn't find a high-quality item. But now that such a good item had appeared, that was no longer necessary. Alex was also so rich that a few million doesn't mean much to him. He wanted strength, not money. Of course, both have a close relationship with each other, but Alex never forgets what his priority is. After Alex transferred a suitcase full of cash and received a message asking permission to send the item, he accepted. Alex didn't wait and gave Shuppet the first ever item to consume in his life. Pokemon. Shuppet. Type. Ghost. Abilities. Cursed Body, Hidden Ability. Gender. Male. Potential. Deep Gold. Moves. Knock Off. Screech. Nightshade. Spite. Shadow Sneak. Will-O-Wisp. Feint Attack. Hex. Innate Talent Curse. Innate Talent Phantom Force E. Innate Talent Destiny Bond E. TM Protect. Pokemon born with gold potential instead of shallow gold really make it a lot easier, thought Alex. Alex remembers that Bastiodon didn't improve his potential as quickly as Shuppet or Vulpix. Although Bastiodon was able to improve his potential with fewer items than Scizor, Gardevoir, and Crobat, he was a good deal slower than Vulpix or Shuppet. He realized that the difference between a born gold Pokemon and a born shallow gold Pokemon is much bigger than he had previously thought. Alex looked in the direction of Gardevoir, Crobat, and Scizor with a slight concern. Alex realized that he would need a lot more money and good items than he first thought if he wanted to get his first 3 Pokemon on the Shallow Diamond rank. Alex looked at his Pokemon and said, "Okay, it's time to go back to the base. Tomorrow, a small tournament will be held for the rookies he is responsible for, and he still has to choose a rank for the top 10. Alex, with his mask, entered the base and immediately went to his short-term office. Andrew is really a good subordinate. It's a shame that he is a subordinate of Lisa, thought Alex as he read the short and to-the-point informative reports sent by Andrew. He wasn't really strong or talented, but he did his job quickly and thoroughly. Such a competent person is very useful for organizational work or for commanding small groups. Of course, Alex had 2 better subordinates, even if Maria is more like a partner than a subordinate. Their current standing between them is similar to the biggest and the second biggest shareholder in a company. Although the biggest shareholder has the last word, it is not the case that the second biggest shareholder is a subordinate of the biggest shareholder. Alex, who looked through the reports, saw that he had received reports from the person he hired about the past of Simon, Jasper, and Elise. He started reading through the report with a curious look. Simon was the only one with a family. The report never officially identified a problem with his family, which surprised Alex a bit. From the reporter, he watched Simon's family for a day and found nothing unusual. Alex didn't know if this family is really as ordinary as it officially said or if Simon's family is hiding something. Although he doesn't deny the possibility of Simon joining Team Rocket with a normal and good family, it is really unusual and unlikely. But not extremely rare, so he cannot say with guarantee that this information is not correct. Alex read the report from the next person and couldn't help but exclaim, "What the hell?" Chapter 237. The content of Jasper's report was so weird and shocking that Alex's reaction was understandable. Jasper's mother is unknown, and Jasper was raised by his father alone. Both apparently got along well and often went into the woods together. This is not in the files of the Jasper family. But when the person responsible for the investigation interviewed the neighbors of the Jasper family, he found out a surreal piece of information. Jasper also has a stepmother, though she is not human. This was just a rumor, at first. But several neighbors saw Jasper's father kissing his new wife. What's even stranger is that Jasper's father's wife is not a Pokemon with a human-like shape. Usually, the perverts who find Pokemon sexually interested are almost always attracted to human-like Pokemon. But Jasper's father had chosen a female superior as his new wife. If you can ignore the strangeness of Jasper's family, it is a joyful and loving family. At least, according to the statements of most of the neighbors. Also, a neighbor had supposedly seen a very disturbing scene. Jasper got a goodbye kiss on the lips from his stepmother. This kiss wasn't short either and looked more like the kiss of 2 lovers. In the Pokemon world, there is a law that forbids trainers to abuse Pokemon. But this law cannot be implemented in this case. As long as Superior voluntarily enters into a relationship with Jasper's father, it is not a criminal offense. Alex put the report on the table and rubbed his forehead. He had already expected to read something weird. But when he read the part about Jasper kissing his non-human stepmother, he couldn't keep his calm. After reading that, Alex crossed out Jasper as his future 3rd subordinate in his head. It's okay to be crazy, but there is a limit to how crazy you can be. If Jasper was just a pervert, Alex could overlook it. But he's also a madman who calls several people dying a work of art. Jasper had way too many cons, according to Alex, to be used as a subordinate. A crazy dog is useful only if you can be sure that it won't suddenly bite you out of nowhere for no reason at all. Alex started reading the other report. This report was about Elise, the person Alex has the most expectations of out of the three. Although her polite and friendly impression is most likely a facade to hide her true self, Alex believes that something like this is not unusual in Team Rocket, especially for female Team Rocket members. As long as Elise is not totally crazy, she was the best choice out of three. Elise's report was, by far, the shortest, and Alex found hardly any useful information out of it. She was taken to an orphanage as an infant and spent her time there until she turned 16. Elise appeared to have spent a lot of time there in the library. According to the statements, she was a quiet and well-mannered child there. Apart from that, the report said nothing else. Alex put the report down with a slight dissatisfaction. This information was almost useless. Alex was sure of only one thing after reading it. Elise has hidden her true self very deeply. Alex didn't believe for a second that Elise was really such a friendly and polite person. If that was true, it wouldn't make sense for her to join Team Rocket. Unless she's a spy. Alex, who thought of this possibility, began to sink deep in contemplation. I should definitely do a few tests to make sure my third subordinate is not a spy. Alex didn't have to inspect the first two subordinates since he already knows that they are not spies. Gardevoir told Alex that when he and Maria said goodbye, Maria held warm feelings for him. Daniel was an obvious case too. According to Gardevoir, whenever Alex talked to Daniel about the alliance, she always felt anger bubbling inside him. Gardevoir's ability to perceive the emotions of other living beings is not a 100% lie detector. But it can show what the other person is feeling, helping in understanding him/her. But emotions are also often so loose that even while lying through the teeth, Gardevoir's ability may not be able to detect it. Even Alex could outsmart the Gardevoir's emotion detecting. Though, it did take some tries to do it perfectly. So the Gardevoir's ability is most effective when the person, upon whom it is being used, does not know anything about it. Though, even if people know about this thing, it is not entirely useless. The trick is not easy, and not all people have a Gardevoir to know that such a thing exists. So, they won't even think about faking their emotions. I'll come up with a precise plan after I decide for sure whom I'll take as my subordinate. Although Alex already has two participants, whom he prefers, there is always a possibility that some other participant may impress him. Alex put down Andrew's report and then picked up the list of top 10 participants. Andrew, who had taken care of the rookies, could gauge how strong each participant was. Alex was surprised when he saw that Simon didn't make it to the top 3 and was only in 4th place. Originally he wanted to keep the list as it is and pass it. But when he saw Jasper in 1st place and Elise in 2nd, he changed his opinion. Alex changed the order of the top 3 rookies and didn't touch the other 7 places. 1. Elise. 2. Arthur. 4. Simon. 5. Baris. ... Alex had no problem using his powers for making Jasper's chances more difficult. It hardly makes a difference since tomorrow, the rookies can challenge others for their ranks anyway. It is an advantage to be on a higher rank only if there is a tie. Otherwise, it makes no difference to be 2nd or even 1st. Chapter 238. The next day, Alex, his subordinates and the rookies had gathered in the underground hall just like the first day. Of the initial 100 participants, only 40 were there remaining. Usually, more than 2/3 of the 100 rookies would be alive on the last day. But because of Alex, that was not the case anymore. The rookies, who took the Pokeball with A-rank talent Pokemon from Alex, had to conquer their Pokemon within 3 days or that they would otherwise die. As a result, an unbelievably large number of rookies died desperately trying to control their Pokemon. But what they didn't know is that Alex never planned to kill the participants who failed to control their A-rank Pokemon after 3 days. Instead, he would send them to a different base so that all other rookies would think that they had died. But out of 55 rookies who chose an A-rank Pokemon, only 12 survived after 3 days. And of those 12, 11 managed to control their Pokémon. So, Alex only had to send one of these 55 rookies to another base. More than half of the participants had chosen to conquer an A-rank Pokémon, which is generally more difficult, especially if you don't have any other Pokémon. Although the number of dead is much higher, the number of trainers who managed to control their Pokémon is also higher. Of the 100 participants, 21 trainers managed to conquer their Pokémon, more than when Alex had participated in the rookie test. Alex looked at the 40 participants in the room and said with a stern voice, "The rookies, who did not manage to conquer their Pokémon, will follow the subordinate to my right. He will explain to you everything regarding your future." A subordinate led the 19 rookies, and soon, the crowd had been halved. These rookies would soon become Team Rocket lackeys, the lowest rank in Team Rocket. Alex didn't want to explain the situation of these useless participants to them personally, obviously. That's why he gave his subordinate this task. He didn't want to waste his time with trash, who would rather take a safe route and be a lackey instead of risking their lives to become a trainer. Alex looked at the remaining 21 rookies and began speaking again. "Now that the garbage has been taken away, I will explain the rules of the tournament to you. It's quite simple, actually. I've made a list where I have estimated how strong you are compared to other rookies. But because that's just an estimation, everyone gets a chance to challenge someone from the top 10 and steal their rank. If the challenger is successful, he will swap rank with the person he has defeated. But should the challenger lose, we will automatically deduct 100 TR points from him or her. After each fight, both participants have the right to go to the Team Rocket Pokémon Center to heal their Pokémon for free." Alex paused for a moment and said with a deep voice, "This quasi-tournament also has rules, so you better be careful not to break them if you don't want me to break some part of your body too. There are only 2 simple rules that even the stupidest of you can understand. 1. It is forbidden to attack a trainer in any way. 2. It is also forbidden to attack a Pokémon that's already passed out. Simple, isn't it? Now, the list of top 10 rookies is as follows. 1. Elise. 2. Arthur. 3. Jasper. 4. Simon. 5. Baris. Alex had only changed the top 3. He didn't know much about other members, so it didn't make sense for him to interfere with them. Most of the 11 participants who received the A-rank Pokémon from Alex showed serious faces. One of Alex's prerequisites was that they had to be, at least, in the top 10 after 2 weeks. Or else, they would also be killed by Alex's Crobat. After hearing how one person, who didn't manage to conquer his Pokémon within 3 days, had suddenly disappeared, others were sure that he had become the food of this cruel instructor's bloodthirsty Crobat. Only the top 4 did not have any worry. All of the top 4 had chosen the A-rank Pokémon from Alex, and it was almost impossible that they would lose their place in the top 10. Participants with A-rank Pokémon, who are not in the top 10, would not waste their single chance by challenging the strongest trainers in their group. Of 11 rookies with A-rank Pokémon, 8 are in the top 10. So that means 3, who are outside the top 10, would lose their lives if they don't manage to enter the top 10. Alex had the feeling that ranks 10, 9 and 8 would see the most fights. He showed an emotionless expression as he said, "Participants, not in the top 10, now have the chance to make a challenge. If nobody in the top 10 wants to make a challenge now, you will not get another chance later on." Although it was not a rule, Alex didn't plan to waste a lot of time with weak trainers, so he added this rule. A smart trainer would always like to be the last one to make a challenge. Alex wanted to force them to not waste much time. Maybe only trainers who were much stronger than the rest of them won't need such assurance in their test, like Alex and Maria. Of the 11 participants outside the top 10, only the 3 rookies, who have A-rank Pokémon, wanted to challenge one of the top 10. For the other 8, the risk of losing TRP 100 is not small, and the reward of a 9th or 10th rank is not worth taking this risk. Only the 3 A-rank Pokémon rookie needed to enter the top 10 list. After Alex said his last statement, for a few seconds, silence had taken its place. It seemed that none of these 3 A-rank Pokémon rookies wanted to fight first. Alex looked at the hesitant faces as if he was looking at garbage as he said, I see. If nobody gives a challenge in 5 seconds, I will continue with the top 10 fights. 5.4.3.2. A rookie with an A-ranked Pokemon couldn't help and said out loud, "Stop. I'm challenging number 10. The number 10 was a rookie who hadn't taken an A-ranked Pokemon from Alex, so he wasn't as desperate as the challenger rookie and his Pokemon. In the end, the challenger rookie defeated the number 10 with a very close call. The rookie looked like he saw the light out of the tunnel as he celebrated his victory. Unfortunately, 2 other A-ranked participants also wanted his position. In the end, these 2 A-ranked participants found themselves in a desperate fight for the low places of the top 10. 2 fights later, Alex looked at the 2 lifeless trainers sitting on the floor. He said with an evil smirk, "You know, it doesn't seem that you have bad strength. It would really be a waste if you had to die so early, don't you think?" The 2 rookies sitting lifeless on the floor seemed to have heard Alex's words and started looking at Alex with a pleading expression. Alex smiled deeply as he said, "Okay, I'll let you live but not for free. 70,000 Pokédollars in 1 year was one of the prerequisites for rookies who got an A-ranked Pokemon from me. I'll let you live and even make you a Team Rocket member. But you have to get me 140,000 Pokédollars in 1 year, or it would mean that you have betrayed Team Rocket." Although Alex's smile seemed like a devil's smile to the 2 rookies, they were still relieved. Although they might have to do many dangerous missions or need good luck in the wilderness to gather 140,000 Pokédollars in 1 year, it was better than dying. Alex doubled the amount because these 2 rookies had wasted his time, and also because he didn't want to show any kindness in Team Rocket. Though reason 1 was the main reason why he did that. Chapter 239. After Alex took care of all of the rookies' challenges to the top 10, he directed his focus to the top 10 fights. He had wasted enough time with these mediocre trainers and finally wanted to get to the most important part. Alex looked at the top 10 rookies and said with an impassive tone, "Okay, you can now challenge a rookie with a rank higher than you." He observed that more than 5 out of the 10 had no interest in challenging others. Only the 3 rookies showed some interest, besides Elise, who was already in her desert place. 1. Elise. 2. Arthur. 3. Jasper. 4. Simon. Arthur seemed to be contemplating. After a few seconds, he made a decision and said, "I want to challenge Elise." Elise just gave a tender smile as she started walking up to the trainer's position on the battlefield. Arthur showed a slight nervousness when he walked to the opposite side of the battlefield and released his Pokemon. Pokemon. Arbok. LV. 21. Type. Poison. Ability. Intimidate. Gender. Female. Potential. Shallow Silver. Moves. Empty. Wrap. Poison Sting. Bite. Glare. Screech. Acid. Crunch. Innate talent Poison Fang E. Alex saw the strength of Arbok and couldn't help but nod in agreement. In contrast to when Alex was a rookie, these rookies had an extra week to prepare for this tournament. This made it possible for most Pokemon to evolve with enough training and good food. But because of this, Coughing's trainers had a major disadvantage. Coughing evolves to Wheezing usually at level 35, so it should be almost impossible for them to win this tournament with their not evolved form. When Alex thought about it, he understood more clearly why Simon was only in 4th place even though he was among the first 3 to conquer their Pokemon first. Although Coughing is not a weak Pokemon, it has a big disadvantage against the other Pokemon when he fights them. The stats of all other Pokemon are much better, so every Coughing's trainer has to fight a disadvantageous battle. Coughing has base stats of 340, which is really low compared to his opponent, who might have already successfully evolved. While having better stats is not necessarily the most important thing in a fight, it can give you a solid advantage. Alex saw how Arthur had evolved his Ekans into an Arbok before this fight and immediately understood why he was in the 3rd rank in the original list. He could have been on an even higher rank if it was not for his innate talent move not being very suitable for this tournament. Arbok's expert rank move is not really bad. It's just that it might not be very effective here. 3 of the 5 Pokemon species you get to choose as a starter Pokemon are poison type. In addition, all 3 are the most popular Pokemon pick, so this move is almost useless against most trainers here. Alex still showed a curious look. Let's see how much improvement Elise has made in these 2 weeks. Elise only looked briefly at Arbok, who gave a deadly hiss and a stare that would scare others when she came out of the Pokeball. Elise showed a gentle yet confident smile and called out her Pokemon from his Pokeball. Pokemon. Fearow. LV. 23. Type. Normal, flying. Ability. Sniper, hidden ability. Gender. Male. Potential. Shallow gold. Moves. Growl. Peck. Leer. Pursuit. Focus energy. Fury attack. Aerial ace. Mirror move. Innate talent, Feather Dance E. Innate talent, Try attack. Innate talent, Drill Run E. Dash. Alex didn't show any emotion on his face but was very surprised inside. What surprised Alex wasn't the level but that Fearow had 2 moves on the expert rank moves and achieved the shallow gold potential. Getting 2 innate talent moves on the expert rank within 14 days is almost impossible for an ordinary trainer. This pace is only a bit slower than Alex and a lot faster than normal trainers, which really showcases her talent as a trainer. Even with an S-rank Pokemon, it is not so easy to train the moves on the expert rank so quickly. But Fearow being on the shallow gold rank was what really surprised Alex. For a novice Pokemon trainer, it is very common to not have enough money to buy good items for their Pokemon to absorb during their first evolution. Alex also had the same problem. He could only give Zubat Taurus's blood for 500 TR points and missed the golden opportunity to improve the potential of Zubat. She has to have a good amount of money to buy an item that can improve her Fearow's potential. But according to background information, she grew up in an orphanage. So where did she get the money from? Thought Alex. Alex was more and more convinced that after this tournament, he should do a little test with the help of Gardevoir so that he doesn't choose a spy as his third subordinate. He stopped thinking about it and focused his attention on the fight that had just begun. Elise gave her commands gently and showed a very calm demeanor in this intense fight. She once let Fearow use Feather Dance to greatly reduce the attack power of Arbok. Arbok used Poison Fang after hearing Simon's command and successfully poisoned Fearow. Elise was not nervous but at ease. She said in a light tone, "Fearow, use Drill Run until this Arbok can stand no more." Simon tried to prevent that but had no way avoiding it. Fearow was faster and had a better attack move. Arbok just couldn't escape her unavoidable doom. It only took Fearow to Drill Run to defeat the Arbok and win the fight. Chapter 240. After this fight, both Arthur and Elise went to the Team Rocket Pokemon Center to heal their Pokemon. Alex waited for the two and didn't allow any challenges for the next fight until they had returned. Simon didn't waste time and stepped forward as he said, "I want to challenge Arthur." Alex was slightly surprised that Simon was not challenging Elise but Arthur. He must have realized that he does not have a good chance of winning against Elise, and that is why he is targeting for a place in the top 3. Really clever but a bit too cautious for my taste, thought Alex. The reward for the first place was much higher in this case than for the second. That's why Alex described this decision as too cautious. Unless you are so weak that you cannot win even with an optimal strategy, there is no reason to immediately give up the first place. It's not like the difficulty is similar to a battle between LV5 and LV20 Pokemon. Despite Simon's Pokemon's poor stats and his innate talent move not being that good for this tournament, it is not that difficult and not impossible to win. Even if you only have a 5% win rate, it is a bet with a high return, according to Alex. What is better? A 5% chance to win 70,000 Pokédollars or 80% chances to win 500 Pokédollars? Alex would always take the 5% chance because it is the most effective and beneficial choice. And that is why he could not support Simon's decision to aim for a relatively safe position. Although it is smart to fight a Pokemon whose strongest move is almost useless against your Poison-type Pokemon, this is not a good reason to give up your only chance to achieve the best rank and rewards. Simon must have thought that even if he wins against Elise, he wouldn't be able to defend against other challengers and might end up in an even worse position. Alex understands that when it comes to his chances of survival, he plays it safe even if he loses his single shot at getting something valuable. But in this example, that is not the case. Even if he loses the fight, he won't be losing out on much. The main reason why he put Elise in the first place was so that in case Simon uses self-destruct as his last resort, with the fight ending up a tie, she would remain in the first place. But now, it looked like he had overestimated Simon a bit. Alex observed the fight between the two with a slightly bored look. When Simon got his Pokemon out of his Pokeball, Alex immediately looked at the information of the Pokemon. LV 23. Type: Poison. Ability: Levitate. Gender: Male. Potential: Silver. Moves: Poison Gas, Tackle, Smog, Smokescreen, Clear Smog, Assurance, Sludge. Innate Talent: Self-Destruct. TM: Protect. Alex saw this info of Coughing and felt that Simon really didn't have as bad a chance against Elise as he might have thought. First of all, the level of both Pokemon is almost the same, and Coughing is also immune to Drill Run. Drill Run is a move in which Pokemon uses its particular body part as a drill and hits the opposing Pokemon via the ground surface. Coughing, who has the ability to levitate, does not need to be afraid of this move as long as he isn't hit and is still levitating above the ground. Alex thought with seriousness, together with Poison type and the strong move Assurance, there was a relatively good chance of winning the fight with good tactics. Although Alex believes that Elise is stronger with much better base stats and the expert rank, Feather Dance, Simon's chances are even higher than Alex had previously thought. 20% or 30% would be more accurate than Alex's first assessment of 5%. Alex now even felt a slight sense of despise for Simon being too cautious. Before he knew the full strength of Simon's Pokemon, he could somehow understand Simon's cautious manner. But now, it felt like his cautiousness caused him to waste a valuable opportunity. He even felt disdain for Simon's behavior. Alex's disappointment for Simon was immeasurable for a moment. Such good potential, but what a big flaw in his character. Well, I think Lisa would be happy to receive such a good subordinate, thought Alex. Alex wanted to give Lisa the good rookies he didn't need anyway so that Lisa would owe him a favor. Of course, he would give Lisa genuinely talented trainers, or it would look like he gave her mediocre rookies that Team Rocket has everywhere. Arthur, Jasper, Simon were the rookies Alex would give Lisa if Elise meets Alex's expectations and passes his test with Gardevoir. While Alex was deep in thought, Simon and Arthur were fighting an exciting match. Simon's Pokemon used move Assurance. And since Arbok was preparing her move, Coughing could inflict a powerful first hit on Arbok. Arthur decided to use Screech as his first move, so that Arbok can now inflict ridiculous damage on Coughing with his very high attack value of 95. This was a measurement taken with consideration of this fight dragging on for too long. The fight went into the next gear after this. It was a fight to see who can withstand the attacks of the enemy longer. Although Coughing had a medium attack stat, he was 2 levels higher, and the move Assurance was much stronger than Arbok's Crunch. Together with that, Coughing could use the move Protect, while Arbok could not, which was also a great advantage. In the end, the fight didn't last for too long, and Simon was able to secure a relative safe victory. Although Coughing only had 30% HP left, it was a relatively safe win, according to Alex. After Simon and Arthur healed their Pokemon, the tournament continued further.